Hi guys, it's Krista from Playing with a Purpose. Today I'm going to share with you a March classroom tour, and this month we're going to be learning all about the maple syrup season. And something that my family loves to do every year is tap trees on our property and make maple syrup. And for the last couple of years, it's been a real tradition to invite family and friends and daycare families over to enjoy the process. Unfortunately, last year we missed out on that opportunity, so I made a video last year to explain how the whole process works. If you're interested in seeing how the process works here on our property, I'll link that video below. We've tapped trees here on our property for over 20 years, and it's just a small operation, but it's super fun, and once you've experienced this process, you come to realize and appreciate how much maple syrup costs and why. And so without further ado, let's get started on our March classroom tour. As you walk into the classroom, I decided to put the slide here. You'll notice that I also kept the pickler out this month. The children really enjoyed it last month, and so I decided to keep the pickler and the rock wall out. So over to the right, we have our writing center, and I just added some maple syrup vocabulary words, as well as some dry erase markers and these lakeshore erasers. And then here in the basket, I have some tracing letters. And then in this tray, I added a maple leaf punch so the children can use fine motor skills to punch out some leaves out of some different colored paper, and I put a glue stick in there. I also have this simple I can trace sheet where the children can use a dry erase marker and then erase it. Over here in our science center, I added some photographs of the process of making maple syrup. And then I just added some items that you might see at a maple sugar bush. My mom is an avid recycler, and she lives at a nursing home, and she really dislikes that they use these little pill containers 3 times a day and they get thrown out and they're not recyclable. And so she collects these, and she will be so thrilled that I'm using them in my science center. For this activity, I'm just going to allow the children to explore capacity using these little cups, which are our sap buckets. Children will be able to pour water from these sap buckets into the boiling pan. So here is the first shelf. On the top here, I have a Melissa and Doug number puzzle, and then a more challenging farm puzzle. And then on the bottom shelf, I have this Crocodile Creek 36-piece horse stable puzzle. So I thought this would be really cute to put out this month. And then over here, we have a new math balance scale. And I thought this was a fun, hands-on way for children to explore new math concepts. I'm always looking for toys that children can learn new concepts through play. Up here we have a nesting doll set. And this is also an early math skill where the children can learn early concepts like smallest to biggest, but also they're learning practical life skills using the zipper, a Velcro, some snaps, and the last one is a lace. So I usually just keep this double knotted so that the children can just focus on the other 3 skills. Like buttoning, Velcro, and zippers.
This is C. This one is secret. I'm on your way up.
And then the last little cubby here, I have the Melissa and Doug farm shaped toy. Over on our second shelf, I decided to keep this barn out and these animals. They were literally playing with these every single day last month, and so I decided to keep these ones out. And then I added this little shape toy So this is a really fun toy for my toddlers. It has different shapes and it makes a fun noise for them when they put it in. I love these kind of toys because it's proven that the more senses that are used during the learning process, the more the children retain. And so this one has a noise aspect when they're doing the action of fitting the shape inside. And so I really like that toy. And then I put out the Green Toys tractor. And then this is a really fun toy. This toy is from Lakeshore Learning, and I put out the numbers 1 to 10, but it actually comes with numbers all the way up to 20. I was considering just putting 5 out, so we'll see how it goes at the beginning. I might narrow it down to just the first 5 numbers and then build our way up throughout the month. But basically, the children will be building different rockets, and it has different ways to count the numbers. So here is the numerical number. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a 10 frame, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side, it has another way of counting, 1-to-1 correspondence, and then in written format. They just have 3 different pieces. And so we'll see how my children do with it. If it's too complicated for them with 10, I'm gonna remove 5 of them and just start with 1 to 5. Over here on my easel, I just have a couple of simple things ready for our first circle time. We're first gonna learn about how different trees have different names. Just like we have different names, trees also have different names. I just have a book that I wanna read with them, and then I also have this puzzle, and we can talk about how the different trees have different leaves. And then of course, we're gonna start focusing more on the sugar maple. And then over in our book center, we have some different books, working a lot on different social skills. And then over here, we have some different books for our theme. And then over in our block center, I just included A Day at the Sugar Bush book. And then I included some of these natural wooden blocks, the Grimm's Fire. The children have really started playing with these a lot, and so I decided to keep these out. These are printed out pictures of the children in my care. These have been super fun, and I thought it would be perfect for the center this month. And then I've also included some Lincoln logs so the children can make a sugar shack. And then over here, I put some loose parts, so I put some snow. I also put some more of those little medicine cups for sap buckets. I thought this would be a really great STEM activity. And then I also put out this pot with a skimmer. I always like to use the back of this shelf for pictures for the children to look at. I find the children always looking at these pictures, and it's just a great way to just change things up for the children. And I just decided to add some numbers to this so that they could sequence the order of how we make maple syrup. So here we have the sap buckets on the trees, and then we pour it into the boiling pan, and then it's in the sugar shack, then it's maple syrup, and then we eat it on our pancakes. And so I just added some nice big numbers so the children can see the order. So it just introduces the children to some more math. I ran short on time. I had some other ideas for my magnetic board this month, but I just didn't have enough time to complete it. And so I just pulled out this from my fall bin, and this is just maple leaves, and the children match by color, and also it's self-correcting. So the children will put the leaf on the correct tree with a Velcro dot, and then when they're not using it, they're just gonna put them in here so that it's reset for the next friend to use. I got this little magnetic container at the Target dollar spot. And then over in our dramatic play area, I've set up a little pancake house. I just replaced the chairs with some log stumps. And then at the Dollar Tree, I found these little paper plates, and it had some pancakes and maple syrup on it, so I thought that was really neat. And then I just included an empty container of maple syrup and a little simple menu. And then this was a pack of 2 bandanas, and so I thought this was super cute, and so I put one on the table as a tablecloth and then one as a little tea towel. And then over here, this is part of the maple syrup pack that my daughter and I worked on. You can find this product over on TPT under Playing with a Purpose. So over here on the shelf, I bought a couple of different sets from Melissa and Doug. One is the waffle set and one is the pancake set. With the waffle set, you get this little wooden waffle iron, which is super cute. And then with both sets, you get some of these utensils. Of course, because we tap our own trees, we have lots of different containers. But you can find these containers in most of your stores in the springtime, and you can just add them to your dramatic play area. To add literacy to this area, I just added some vocabulary words for some of the ingredients that we have. And then down here, I just bought this little pan from the Dollar Tree, and then I added some snow, and then I just printed out some of these taffies on snow. And then here is some extra paper plates, and then I have some donuts, which is on our menu. I also found this leaf container at the Dollar Tree, and I thought that was super fun. These donuts are from Learning Resources, and the little tops come off and then they just stick on. And so the children just match up the matching sets, and they're super cute. Over here, I just added a oven mitt, and then down here, there's some extra plates and some toddler dishes, as well as extra cutlery. And then in the fridge, I just kept it very simple with just milk and eggs.
I have the pancake. The pancake.
Yum. Over here in our dress up, we have some rubber boots, an axe, and some Canadian toques, and some extra sap buckets. I found these at the Dollar Tree, and they had like jute cord kind of wrapped around the top, and I just pulled that off just because I thought it looked a little more authentic without the jute cord on it. And then I just thrifted some of these shirts and a lumberjack hat. And then over here, I just set up a little maple sugar bush. So for this, the children have a horse and a little wagon where I just put a piece of cardboard and I taped on some hay. And over here, I just have some trees and the buckets that I found at the Dollar Tree. And then I just added some snow on the bottom. So the children will be able to take these off and collect sap and then put them back on the trees.
How many foot?
I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Krista with Playing with a Purpose. I'll see you next time.